but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff, even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
It's the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Little roller up along first. Behind the band. It gets no butter. Here comes Knight in the next win.
See you in Pittsburgh.
Can't wait. All the band is out on the field. He's going to go in the end zone. Looking, throwing in the end zone.
You're tuned into Game On with John Silverberg. Talking all things sports. It's
Game on! Yeah, game on!
Game On, right here on the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Happy Tuesday to all of you. This is Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network, joining you every single Tuesday from whenever we start to 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I've given up on the start time. I've tried. It is what it is. I'm your host, Josh Silver. Of course, my co-host, my dad, of course, always Nelson Silver, joining us. Will definitely be an interesting evening. Before we get to all that, Speedy PB on the board as well. You can check us out on worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcast, all smart speakers, and so much more. A lot to get to. We're going to talk about the NFL draft a little bit coming up as all these things are happening. I know it's my father's favorite topic. Speedy, if you want to come on the screen as well, because I'm sure we can definitely use you tonight.
I'll also probably some prospect evaluation stuff.
We'll do that. Well, there's a lot. Well, I definitely want Speedy on tonight because, I know he had his takes on yesterday. And everything like that, but I didn't get to hear it. We'll get into all the touch base of why Mr. Speedy PD is not happy about the Dexter Lawrence trade, so he will touch base on that one. He is not happy about it as a Giants fan. The New York Knicks pull off an mitigated disaster yesterday. Why everybody saw it coming. We'll talk about that as well. We're going to show a lot of just interesting times. The NHL playoffs have started. Sorry about game one. They played well. Just game one. Like the Mets, right?
Exactly like
the Mets. Well, the Mets lose 12 in a row tonight. Will that happen?
Wow. I don't know how long they could hold on to this manager. I'm shocked that he's still there tonight. I really thought. I predicted, Monday, 2 weeks ago, I said he was going to get fired. Yesterday was the day I predicted.
Well, he's still there. He is still there. Yeah. And if we have time, we will touch on the Mets. But we do have a lot to get to, of course. And we will begin with the NBA playoffs. Last night, we saw not one but two teams on the road yesterday. Both the New York Knicks and the Denver Nuggets. More than Knicks to an extent, but the Denver Nuggets 12-game home winning streak also snapped as well to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And as everybody was expecting, the Knicks and the Nuggets to get through this series and get to the next round. And I believe they still will. We'll start with the Knicks first. We're all Knicks fans here. I'm sure we all have different takes on it. My father's going to blame a specific player. I'm sure Speedy's going to blame analytics, of course, in regards to the coaching strategy. So then I blame everybody and everyone. That's what I do. I blame it all. It all sucked. That's everything like that. But last night, a 12-point lead going into the fourth quarter evaporated. And, to me, I view it as this. Everybody last night was saying and writing online, this is the worst Knick playoff loss in forever. And I laughed. I go, did you look at last year's game 1 Eastern Conference Finals loss to the Pacers? I don't know. That one takes the cake. You want to take, I don't want to go back to the one, and I think it was 95 when Reggie went off, or 93, because the Knicks still won that series.
This one is worse, only because of the talent disparity.
Well, that's what it is.
Yeah. Indiana and the Knicks last year, they were close. So you say, all right, they lost.
Yeah, but they still shouldn't have lost. What were they up by? What were they up? 9 with 50 seconds to go, Speedy?
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
3 minutes to go.
Yeah, there were 12 with 3 minutes to go. That should never have happened. That was ridiculous last year. That, I think, ultimately is what got Tom Thibodeau fired, actually, was that game in that series alone. We'll start with, Dad, your take first on the disaster. Speedy, I'm curious about your take on it, and then I'm going to get to my rambling because I put blame on a couple of thoughts.
Okay. This is how I saw the fourth quarter.
Speedy, you ready? Get ready. This is going to be good.
No, we spoke already. So this is how I saw
okay. So he knows then. Okay.
The quarter started with both Brunson and Towns having 4 fouls. So they both sat on the bench for the first 3 to 4 minutes of the fourth quarter. And the whole offense got out of sync from that point for the rest of the game. The whole third quarter, that offense was humming. Once they had to take these 2 guys out and just hopefully they could hold a decent lead until they get them back in, that was basically the end of their offense playing well. Even after they brought the guys back in, the offense was really out of sync. Now I'm going to go to the OG Anunoby missed a couple of free throws late. Their free throw shooting was horrible. I can't blame that loss on the free throw shooting because the Atlanta Hawk player missed 2 free throws in a row that gave the Knicks a chance to win the game at the end. So, but there is definitely a problem between Jalen Brunson and Towns. They just don't play well together. And I don't understand why. They don't play pick and roll. He doesn't pass the ball fast enough. He basically holds the ball for, the majority of the clock. And then sometimes he'll pass to the corner to like Anunoby with 3 seconds left in the 24 and he's got to put it up. It's a consistent problem with Brunson. He's a much better scorer than he is a point guard. And it showed up in the fourth quarter yesterday. Towns only put up, and I told he knows this, that he only put up 2 shots the whole fourth quarter, Towns. That he really didn't even get the ball the whole fourth quarter. And for the middle part of the game, he was their best player. So this is a problem. They're going to have to figure this out. But he's got to be able to distribute. And there's only one other good offensive player on the court with him. And he's got to figure out how to work with this guy. Okay. Speedy,
your thoughts?
Yeah, it's always a bad thing when the Knicks' fourth quarter woes come up to you. They were, I think, 45-2 with that similar lead during the regular season. I think they were the best team in the East in the fourth quarter in a lot of different metrics, and they missed way too many threes from a lot of the same spot too. Like a lot of the ones just to the right of the top of the key. Like I think they missed 6 in that spot alone. Like you said, Nelson, the fact that Towns didn't take a lot of shots in comparison to Bridges, it was bad in that game, and OG Anunoby, like you said, kind of steaming out late, and the free throws was the other issue. Like he had 10 for 10 from the line in the first game, and he doesn't want to take any free throws. Like he just decided to, I guess, go softer, be a finesse big man, and which is, I know you've mentioned, Josh, you were critical of last year with Towns in the playoffs. So I think he went back to those kinds of ways again, and just all came together. Transition defense got bad, and the Hawks made enough shots, I guess. But the Knicks really were bad on an offense.
I don't even know if it's him playing. He's had a ton of putbacks, Towns, in the game yesterday. He must have had like 3 or 4 putbacks in the game yesterday. So he wanted to be on there. He just never got the ball. He always got the ball in the perimeter. I don't know if it's him doing it or the way the offense flowed. I don't even know why. That point is a great point that he did not get up to the line at all yesterday. It's crazy.
Well,
How you get
I think it's a couple of things. And now I know I did say that last year, Speedy. I do think Towns was the problem last year. I don't think it's him this year. I think it's couple of things. One, the Knicks got into, the Hawks got into the penalty. I think it was with 9.5 in the fourth quarter, and for some weird reason, the Knicks they didn't, because their free throw shooting was fantastic in game 1. I think that was a huge part of why they won the game. And then all of a sudden, game 2, it's just like, I had a bad omen once Landry Shamet went to go for a layup and just fell backwards. I was just like, this is how this game I have a vibe is going to go tonight. Everything like that. But it starts with a couple of things. One, I think the issue is
He's going to say the coach. He's going to say the coach. He's going to say the coach.
Well, there's a few things. One, I think one is Brunson. Brunson is playing way too much ISO ball, and I think that's got to stop. But the other thing too is that his teammates, they need to tell him in the huddle to give them the ball. Towns needs to ask for the ball, especially when you have a height differential that they've had in this series against Atlanta with the size. But the thing is, Cat won't do that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he's kind of I want to use the word silent assassin per se, because it's kind of like a little strong with the wording. But he's a silent player, Cat. He won't overstep, and everything's like that. But I do think he needs to be more vocal. Like, hey, listen, look at this. I have this. Give me the ball. You know what I'm saying? That's number one.
Yeah, but look, these are pros. You act like this is like a schoolyard.
No. But I'm saying
they got plays, but he won't run a pick and roll to anyone.
No. I'm not blaming Towns. Listen, I actually think Towns is the last person I'm blaming in this one. Number 2, I think Mikal Bridges is a complete waste. I don't understand. Game 1, he had such a good start in the first quarter, Bridges, and then he just stops. And I just I don't understand. Like, every time Bridges got the ball, it's give it back. Just take the shot. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, just take the shot. But then then here's the problem. If he's not confident, then he cannot be starting. That's the reality of it. He can't start. Then that's the thing. I can't have a guy who I gave up 5 first-round picks for have this lack of confidence when he had such a good start in the first game, in the first quarter, but then just stop. That's the part it doesn't read well. It doesn't read right.
You're right, but the problem is if they bring another guy in, he still won't be a great scorer, and he won't be a good defender.
Nah, he still could be a good defender. I mean, we saw it in the Boston series last year.
No, I'm saying anybody that comes in for Bridges, at least Bridges will play defense.
I mean, to me, he has to have this confidence because, like, he was even shooting layups in game 1. He was going to the rim, and I said, wow, this is a different Mikal Bridges. I said, where was this the whole season? And then it just stops. And then even yesterday, he made his first 3-pointer that he took, and then he just stopped after that. And I'm just like, I don't get it. I don't understand this. Like, what goes through this guy's head? That's number one, But yes, saying what you're going to say, yeah, I'm going to blame the coach. I'm going to definitely blame the coach. I think let's be real here, folks. Mike Brown was not the 3rd, was not the 4th, the 5th, the 6th, or even the 7th choice for this team. He was the 8th choice for this team. That's just the reality of it. He wasn't even on when they fired Thibodeau. He wasn't even on the radar as a head coaching candidate for this team. Right? Is that fair to say? Would you say that? Yep. He wasn't even a thought. They wasn't even, and then the problem was they weren't getting the guy. They didn't hold. First off, I think the Thibodeau firing, I don't care what you say that it was a Leon Rose. It was a James Dolan decision. I don't care. Because Dolan said it in the interview with Carden and McMonagle that Thibodeau is kind of a program starter, but he won't get you to the promised land. I'm like, there it is. He basically just made the call that he said that it was his choice. He feels that he won't finish the product. It's right there. He just said it. So, to me, a couple of things that I have an issue with Mike Brown. One, I think he's way too honest with the media. And I think he says way too much. He says way too much to the media. When he says before the game yesterday about Towns doing great defensively in game 1, and Brown's exact words were, yeah, Cat is a really good defender when he wants to be. And I'm just like, he is the most sensitive guy on the planet. Why in the hell would you say that before game 2 in the playoffs as the head coach? Why would you say those words? That is the dumbest asinine thing you could possibly say about one of your star players who already has a very fragile mind as it is. And then you're going to say that. And now you're going to say that is the worst thing you could possibly do. He had a phenomenal game 1, Cat. He's played well the last few weeks. Just say he's been playing great defensively. I've been so impressed with the way he's played this in game 1. And if he continues to play like that, he's going to show everybody why he's a great two-way player. Why can't you just say those words? Why do you have to say, yeah, when he wants to be? How do you think that's going to make Towns feel? In the sense of, are you calling me out on my effort? Is that what you're saying? Because if I'm Towns, I'm going to say, all right, so what about Brunson and his effort defensively? How does that?
They're totally different than everybody else.
No, but that's what I'm saying, though. And that's the problem. He needs to stop tiptoeing and, I don't want to say the word, around, bleeping footing around. You know what I mean? And everything like that. Pussyfooting around. There you go.
Oh, okay.
There you go. He needs to stop that.
Whoa.
Okay? That's what I said. All right? And be open and honest. That's number one. I think Brown is way too honest with the media, and I think he needs to cool it with that, and he needs to stop. That's number one. Number two, here's the thing I will say about Thibodeau. Thibodeau took accountability when the team would have rough losses. Go back to the post-game, game 1 against Indy last year. Thibodeau actually took responsibility for that loss. Mike Brown has not taken any semblance of responsibility when this team has a rough loss. He will not. He will not take it. He won't. Look at all of his post games this year. He will constantly say, yeah, we have to do a better job finishing. We have to do a better job with the effort. We have to do a better job XYZ, right? But here's the reality. Mike Brown needs to take accountability because Mike Brown, number one, the way he's bringing the bench in and sitting Towns and Cat and Brunson for 5 or 6 minutes, you can't do it.
Opening the fourth quarter, they both were at 4 fouls. Were they
both at 4 fouls at that in the fourth quarter when it started?
Yes.
Yeah, they were.
Okay, so my thought process is this: have one of them in the game, then.
Yeah, so if one of them gets to 5,
then that's at least you have the other one. Then that's the point. You.
Okay.
Here's the thing.
First, you keep telling people you kept harping how they have to go deep into the bench.
How long? Because I'm going to tell you why. How long was McBride out for this team? What was he out for? 3 or 4 months? Right? He was out for what? 3 months?
Yes,
4 months?
Yes.
So now you're him, Clarkson, Shamet, and Robinson, who have barely played together this year, right? Now you're making McBride, who, by the way, and I like McBride, but I've constantly have said this, he's not a 1. You need to Thibodeau did the same thing. He's not a point guard. You need to stop putting him at that position as the point guard. He's not a distributor. He's not a leader on the court. He doesn't know how to set plays. He doesn't know how to bring the ball up. He doesn't do that. Alvarado does that. Kolek does that. You need to have a distributor first point guard. That's what this team needs for the second unit. Okay, Brunson's going to be Brunson. You can't control that, right? He is what he is. But for the second unit, Alvarado or Kolek, and I think Alvarado is going to get in this rotation next game. You'll see he will get in this rotation. I think in game 3. I think Brown's going to look at this because at least they have the extra day to say, yeah, he needs to be in this rotation. We need to have a distributor on that second unit because the problem is Clarkson doesn't play defense, right? That's one issue. Shamet's been struggling mightily shooting the ball. So he's giving you nothing. And McBride has been abysmal since coming back from the injury. He hasn't been good. Other than Robinson, you're not getting anything. And the problem is you have to play Clarkson. People get complaining about Clarkson, but you have to play Clarkson because the issue is they don't have enough offense off the second unit to make up for it, especially if you put Alvarado in this rotation. And again, another one who I said should be in this rotation is Diawara. I think they need another 3 or 4 off the bench. That's what I think they need, a guy to come in for Hart. I don't think
Alvarado
they have
played 9 minutes yesterday. I said Alvarado got in the game for a long time. He played.
But that's because Brunson was in foul trouble. But I'm
But
talking
you're saying,
like
so you want him in.
I want him and McBride. But he wasn't on when that run started happening for Atlanta. It was Clarkson, Shamet, McBride, Robinson, and one of
Alvarado in the fourth quarter.
No, I think Alvarado only played 1 minute yesterday. Didn't he only play a minute yesterday, Speed?
No,
he only played 1
9
minute.
I really saw him in the box score, I think. He might have played like 2 minutes.
No, he played 9 minutes.
I don't know what game that is because I'm looking right now. It says 2 minutes.
I got the box
2
score.
minutes.
I'm wrong on the box score? The NBA box score?
I'm looking. Speedy just said the same
Maybe
thing.
I'm wrong. 0 for 3, 0 for 1 for 3 points, 0 for 3, 0 points. Am I wrong? Am I looking at it?
Yeah, I'm just looking at field goals. No, he's right. 9 minutes.
He got 9 minutes. He got in. He was on the court for that bad run in the fourth quarter.
Well, he had a plus 5
terrible.
rating. He had a plus 5 rating. So
well, he might have been earlier in the game, but
it was earlier in the game. I think it was because
but he wasn't on that fourth quarter point of the game. He started in that fourth quarter.
Yeah. So right now, the guys that were on the court at that run, I'm looking at it now, were Robinson, Shamet, McBride, Clarkson, and Anunoby. Those were the 5 guys that were on the court. And
so when are you going to get right? So who's going to score points?
But that's what I'm saying. No, but that's why when you have those guys, you need to have Towns or Brunson on the court. That's what I'm saying. You need to have one of them.
It's all good, but the thinking is this: you're just taking devil's advocate.
Mm-hmm.
You're up by 12.
Yeah.
Even if you're up by 7 with like 8 minutes left, and you can bring everybody back in, you're still in good shape. But if you try to just keep the score where it's at and Towns picks up a pity-pat foul, now all of a sudden you end up having to take Towns out, and you're going to lose him until there's 3 minutes left in the game, and you're in much worse shape. So the point was, let's hope these guys can just hold the fort. Even if they give up 5 of the 12-point lead, you're still going to be better off putting both guys in at 4 fouls than hoping neither one picks up a 5th early in the 4th. And it's not bad. It's not a bad thing. The problem was when the guys got back in, the offense was still totally out of sync for some reason. So, I mean, I'm not arguing. I understand, but sometimes things happen. You lose games. What are you going to do?
Yeah, I mean, I guess
I understand. I mean, you could say this or that.
I think Brown is just,
Sure. I thought they were definitely losing the game when on TV they gave the stat that Speedy gave. The Knicks only lost 2 games when they were up in the fourth quarter by this one. And right then and there, I turned to my wife and go, they're losing this game. Right then and there. When someone does that, that's it. They mentioned that exact stat at the beginning of the fourth quarter. And I said, yeah, they're in trouble.
It's just, like I said, it's what are you gonna do? Hopefully, we'll see if the Knicks come back in Game 3, and we'll see if the Nuggets come back in Game 3 as well. That was a bad loss for them yesterday. That's a series now. Yeah, that was a bad loss.
Losing in Denver is tough.
But it's also even Detroit losing Game 1. This is a must-win for Detroit tonight. I mean, they have to win this game. I mean, they're gonna, because if they lose tonight, it's over. I mean, they're
a tough out. Orlando is a tough out. I mean,
well, and actually, I'm sorry, they play tomorrow. But it's interesting because if you actually look at the depth chart between the two, Orlando actually has more depth than Detroit does. It's the coaching. That's the problem. Because you can make the case who's the best. I guess you could say now Cunningham is the better player than Banchero, right? But it can almost be a toss-up at some points, though, can it? Like, you can make that argument.
Yeah.
I know that they're 2 different players, but
when Orlando loses, it's usually because they just lose it for themselves. You know what I mean? They're like too young. They get out of control. They're just too physical, and they lose games. If they play within themselves, they're a really good team.
No, I get it, but it's but we'll see what happens going forward with the playoffs. I don't even know what games are there any games tonight? I know yesterday was nuts. Last night,
there's gotta be something.
Sixers Celtics is the first one tonight.
Oh God! Well, we know how that's gonna go. Yeah, we know how that's going.
Trailblazers, Spurs, and Rockets, Lakers are the other ones.
Hey, let me tell you. Wait, is Durant playing tonight or is he not playing? Because if Durant's not playing, they're not winning, and they're getting Reeves back in the series. The Lakers. They won Game 1. They won Game 1. Not that anybody's beating OKC or San Antonio, but I'm just
Also, that's questionable.
Yeah.
Oh, I made a mistake. I'm sorry. The Knicks Hawks are at 7. Oh, you got to be kidding me. This is the stupidest thing. They're on Prime Video on Thursday at 7. So I got to freaking stream and then go back and forth with the NFL draft on Thursday. Horrible.
There's so much constant drama in the NFL draft. Every second,
and the New York Jets select a loser that's going to suck in 5 years. Yay!
Do I watch live sports or do I watch names being called out every 20 minutes?
I mean, they all get spoiled anyway now on Twitter. They all get spoiled like a minute before the pick happens, but everything like that. But to me, like I said, the NBA playoffs has been fascinating so far. Detroit was shocking. The Knicks losing yesterday was surprising. Denver losing was surprising. I would say the Knicks one is the worst one because they were up 12 at home. That should never happen. But I've seen the Knicks. I've seen this Knicks core lose plenty of bad games. Go back to Miami a couple years ago. Remember that one in the second round in Game 1. Go back to that one.
They lose bad ones more than they win. That's good ones.
The Knicks, they make it so difficult and for no reason. It's the stupidest reason. It's the stupidest thing. I don't even understand. But we'll say, hey, listen, Billy Donovan's out at Chicago, so I can tell you this: if Brown gets fired, that's probably the guy they're going to probably hire is Donovan. I would say because they tried to get it from Chicago, and Chicago declined it. And I'm sure now Chicago's probably like, maybe you should have just let him go in the first place. You could have gotten a draft pick out of it, a second round pick or something. Now they get nothing out of it. So everything like that. But in all seriousness, I can tell you, if they lose, Brown's going to be let go. He's going to be the head coach. He will be the head coach of the Knicks next year. Will be Billy Donovan. That's for sure. everything like that. But we'll get to, I guess, the NFL draft now, which I know my dad loves doing. This is more speedy talk. I want to get into the conversation about so you're not happy with the Giants draft pick. The Giants trading Dexter Lawrence for number 10. Now, is it because of the draft? It's not a good draft. Is it because the Jets and other teams have gotten more? Is it like I know for a fact Errol rubbed it in your face about Quentin Williams getting more back. I know he did that.
You did. It was value. You got fair value back. I'll leave it at that.
Oh, Speedy doesn't think so.
You're not going to get. You didn't get a better player. You're not going to get a better player than you gave up, but you got the value. You got fair value, which is two different things. I don't think you definitely gave up the best player to get a question mark, and who's probably not going to be nearly as good. But like, what can you get back for him? I'll let you finish. You're a Giants fan, but
yeah, they damaged their reputation, so that they ruined the value essentially. Now, I don't think it was awful value. I think it was still, like you said, though, comparable with Quentin Williams. So you got a first and a second. For Lawrence has been better than Williams probably the last 4 years, and the Jets were able to get a first and a second. Now, obviously, Jerry Jones can be kind of desperate comparatively to some of these other GMs, but Cincinnati's a pretty dysfunctional team the last few years too. So it's tough to predict. It just Joe Shane damaged it for 2 years apparently, and got rid of Leonard Williams, who we liked, and Saquon, who we liked too. And if you already get a player disgruntled internally, you're going to lose a lot of value for it. And obviously, you could get a good player at 10. I'm not saying that if somebody like, I don't know if Downs will fall to 10. If they do, they get lucky with him. Maybe the corner Delane, the LSU. Maybe could get a good player, but it's not going to be a Dexter Lawrence impact player.
Well, you're not going to draft Woods. That's too much of a reach.
That's too early.
Yeah, although that would be a carbon copy. Defensive tackle from Clemson. Wouldn't that be something, right? Just go that route again. Wouldn't that be something? Just like do a redo, with Woods. Be like, hey, let's get same position, same college, go there, and everything like that. But
look, how many sacks did he have last year? All for 2 years.
Sack.
What?
He had a half sack last year. He was playing hurt a lot of the year.
No, I'm saying, but I know he was playing hurt, got a half sack. The team that got him had to pay for him and sign him. I mean,
which again, if you actually look at the contract, he's going to be right back in the same position next year. That's the funny thing.
He's on a 1 year deal.
He's on a 1 year. He's going to be back. It's just an extension of the contract that he has now. But now the money is just fully guaranteed up front for this year. But it's like, okay, but he's going to be back in the same position next year, though. That's the part I'm just like, I don't understand. And then, Cincinnati, who they just lost Hendrickson to Baltimore, which we're not even going to get into that whole. I mean, that was so fugazi by Baltimore. It was ridiculous. You want to talk about a team that damaged their reputation? There's one right there. But isn't it funny that it's always the city of Baltimore, whether it's the Orioles or the Ravens, always have problems with when they come to physicals. And they get out of contracts.
The Mets has done it. The Mets have done it.
Well, it was only one. It was Correa.
The catcher, right?
Oh, yes.
Catcher with the catcher
Benji,
with the
Benji
Colorado
Molina.
Rockies.
Benji.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Yorvi Toriaba.
Yeah.
Yes, it was Yorvi Toriaba. Yep. Yeah, it was Toriaba. And then they wound up doing, Mania literally just, and so they lost. So Toriaba failed the physical. And then the next day they traded Lastig's Millich for Ryan Church and Brian Schneider. And people were like, what? You're like, what? And then they all wound up sucking anyway. Actually, Ryan Church was good until the concussion happened. That screwed up everything. Schneider was horrible, and Millich was a massive disaster. So, to me,
Why his last name?
Yeah, I know. Well, I remember everybody literally thought he was going to be the next Manny Ramirez, and there was a point where the Mets were actually trying to trade him in a deal for Manny Ramirez at one point, and there was a It was I don't remember what year it was. Oh God, was it 05? I think it was like The Time Is Now. It was like a leaked picture of Manny Ramirez in a Met jersey on like the yearbook. That just because the Mets thought they were getting him.
Is that on an American website or one of those like South
Oh
American
God,
websites?
no! I gotta let me see. Hold on, Mets, Manny Ramirez.
Look, we got Carson Cringe right now instead of how long is he going to be on the team?
Let me see. Mets, Manny Ramirez jersey. Oh man, I'm not gonna be able to find it.
That's okay.
It was here.
Okay.
Let me see. It was in 05, 06. I can't. Yeah. I mean, at one point, I'll find it at some point, maybe. But it's there's somebody definitely took it offline. We were like, I can't have this anymore. It was there. It was there because they thought they were getting Ramirez and Lasix Mill, which was the headliner in the deal with Boston.
Freezing Cole's Takes ever does a vintage edition. They could put that in.
I remember that one, and I remember they thought they had a deal after the Yankee sign hit. I remember we were in Florida. That the Yankee signed Hideki Matsui, and then the Mets thought they were signing Omar Nakamura, the third baseman.
Yeah.
And then he backed out last minute and went back to Japan, and he never got another contract from Major League Baseball ever again.
That's right.
They thought the guy. They were like, "Oh, he's Scott Rowland," you know what I mean? And everything like that. So it was just crazy in the sense of when I look back at just these weird, wonky things. You know, to me, I'm always just like, it's and everything of that nature. I don't know.
We always get the wrong one. We got the wrong Matsui.
Yeah,
we got like Rick Reed. Rick Reed was like the poor man. Greg Maddux. They were saying like we always got the wrong one.
Well, we got Victor Zambrano. Rick Peterson. You know, Rick Peterson said he lost sleep that night because he was so ecstatic to get him.
That's right.
And I was just, I would have lost sleep for what you gave up, not what you got. I mean, and everything like that. So to me, I view it as, I don't know.
What a flame out. He flamed out too, the guy they traded.
Casimir?
Yeah, 2 good years or 1
Casimir
year.
had a couple. Well, when they went to the World Series, he was the ace.
Yeah.
Him and James Shields and
Nice.
Matt Garza.
Yeah, Matt Garza too, yeah.
Yeah, Matt Garza. So Casimir was the ace, but Garza might have been the best pitcher that year. And that was when David Price had just been coming up. They made him a reliever at first, and they made him the closer in the playoffs and everything like that. Yeah. So everything of that nature. So to me, it was I don't know. I don't know what Millie's barking at. Did anybody hear her?
Yeah, I could hear her.
Yeah, I don't know what I don't know what she's doing. Everything like that. I don't know. I mean, Caleb's just yelling at her to stop. I hear him, so he's like, it's not working. So it's.
Yeah, there you go. Somebody pushed the button.
That or he might have jumped on her. It's one or the other. Yeah. I feel like he might have gotten physical with her, like Siegfried and Roy. You know what I mean? You know, and everything like that. But yeah, before we sign off. Do we think the Mets are going to win tonight?
No. Why not?
Even with McClain on the mound?
I'm saying, why not? Why not win? They might as well. Somebody's got to win.
Speedy's flat out said no.
McClain will pitch well, and Luke Weaver will come in and blow it.
They're just horrible. I don't know how many. You know what's amazing? How many times like they only score 1 run, and it's like a home run. That's
David
it.
David Stearns, and Mendoza. These two. It's these two dopey heads who are running this team. Mendoza and Stearns. It's just bad.
I'm upset at Stearns, but I'm really upset about the analytics on the Mets. Like they put all this money into analytics, and now it's like running this team, which means like 15 people have played first base already.
But I'm so confused.
The lineup has been all over the place.
But hold on, but you say analytics, but here's like, why is Simeon leading off tonight? If
That's
you say
what I'm saying.
analytics,
There's analytics. This is why. This is it. This isn't just a hunch. You're going to see they're going to come up with like, oh, Simeon once went 3 for 8 against this pitcher or something like that. And they're going to come up with some stat that makes it reasonable that he's leading off. It doesn't make sense. Just play the same guys every day for a month and have him a stable batting order. And then if it doesn't work out, then let's just start getting rid of guys. But this everyday different
like,
lineup,
why do I have to watch?
positions.
Like, no, I agree with you, but it's also like, why do I have to watch Tommy Pham play? Why am I watching that?
Yeah. Oh, he's starting tonight?
No, but I'm saying just in
okay.
general.
Yeah,
Why?
worst.
Why am I
Why?
watching him
Right.
play? Like, why? Like,
That's
first
right.
off, he insulted the organization. He lambasted them when he left. You know what I mean? And now he's back. That's the part. I'm like, if I'm Steve Cohen, I'm like, why'd you bring this idiot back?
Because they keep playing. Look, you got Brett Beatty. Play him in left field. That's what he was
They've
there
been
for.
playing Beatty every day and Vientos
No,
every day.
but
They
just-
play them
that's
both
right.
every day, and they both
No.
have been atrocious.
That's
They've been
fine.
every
I know they're
day.
atrocious, but
This
just
is what
play
they
him in the same
are.
position,
They gotta move.
in the
They
same
gotta.
partner batting order.
They gotta
This
move
is all
on.
they got.
They got to move on from Beatty. They got to move on from Vientos. They
Wait,
got to move on from these.
what?
They got to move on. It's time. Call it
Bring
a
Gilbert
day.
up. They're gonna bring Gilbert up.
Gilbert. Who's Gilbert?
What's his name? The my guy from AAA.
Clifford.
Clifford.
He's not ready yet. Clifford.
Yeah, so what? They brought Benj up. He's not ready.
Yeah, but Bench was actually.
He had a good 2 weeks against cruddy pitchers.
Hold on. Let me see what the Mets' top prospects are doing right now because it's really.
It's
I
upsetting.
mean, Mauricio. I mean, everything. We got to start trading guys. We got to. I mean, we got to start. Let's go. Like, enough of this. Like, enough. Stop holding it. Actually, you want to know what the bad thing is? If you actually look, you know who's been horrible this year is Tong in AAA so far.
Yep. I didn't know that, but I don't really.
Yeah, he's right now in 4 games. He's 0-1 with an ERA of 7.04.
Okay, he's on the way.
23 strikeouts in 15 innings with 10 walks. 23 and 10
relief
walks.
pitch. Sounds like a relief pitcher.
Well, AJ Ewing's been good.
I think he's legitimate. He's probably legitimate.
Clifford's starting to hit 260 now, so at least he's starting to get it. I mean, Reamer's been bad. He's one of their top, The next big prospect they have is Weniger. The Weninger, the starting, yeah, he's been good in AAA. And then they have the kid Voit, who they took last year. Actually, if you really want to know, who is his name? Pena, the kid they signed last year. They haven't been able. He's been great. Yep.
Yeah, he's amazing.
Yeah.
Last year he was great too. He was great.
And then Santucci's been the lefty. He's been bad. He's been bad. I don't know. I'm not feeling it.
You're not feeling it, right?
I think this is Stearns trying to. I don't know. I think this is Stearns really trying to just, in my opinion, when I view it and the way I look at it, it's in regards to trying to save money with this team.
What do you say? He didn't save any money because he signed Bichette. He didn't save any money.
Well, I could tell you this, and Speedy, you could tell Bichette is not opting out of that contract now.
Of course, he's not out. He's never going there. He was never going to opt out.
He not opting out of that money. Nope.
But I have confidence he's going to hit.
So do I. I think he'll hit. And I hope Simeon gets going. I do. I hope Simeon starts to hit at some point. He's hitting 250, 230. He was hitting 110 at one point. Right. So maybe he's starting to hit. I think I guess the benefit is Alonso's been so bad for Baltimore, and now Diaz is out for the next 3 months with the elbow. Can you imagine the Mets brought Diaz back? And he had surgery. Oh God! Then it would have been killed for that. Why'd you bring him back? They would have been killed. They did this. Yeah. So it's like you kept guys, they suck. You lose guys, you sign guys, they suck. So in the end, it's a mix of both worlds to me. That's just how I view it.
Well, let's say they signed them all. They brought them all back. Let's say they brought Nimmo back, Alonso back, and McNeil back. One of them's doing really well. The other two aren't. So in the end, would they be better off? They probably would be in the same, not the same, because no team could lose 11 in a row, but, you know, in the end, they'd still be not a great team. I mean, you know who gets a pass? I'm sick of Lindor gets a pass. Like
No.
The media just gives him a pass.
Nope. I've been listening to the media all week. I have been listening on the radio. I've been reading the stories in the newspaper. They're killing him.
Yeah,
Especially on WFAN. He's getting killed now on WFAN.
Good.
They're like Boomer and G. They're killing him. Like aside.
Okay.
Hey, listen. Say what you want. They're the number one rated sports show. One of them in the country. And Boomer said it. Boomer said, if I see him smile one more time striking out, I'm going to go through the TV and smack him. So I mean, it's like enough. It's
fake.
You know, it's just like, you know, it's like enough with the everything. Like it's a smile. Everything you strike out. It's just like, why are you smiling? It's not funny. Nobody finds it funny.
He comes out after the games and he does the post game and he gives the fake sad look and he gives the same stupid statements and you know, that's it. That's the interviews.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Trust me.
Get him out.
No, I get it. But
all
right, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but I'm gonna go see what this is. I'm curious.
It could be a rumble. Sounds like
that
a rumble.
That actually sounds like Caleb's crying, so that's interesting. That's a new one.
Man.
Yeah, so but you can check out all the great shows here on the worldwidesportsradio.com, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Periscope, Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Of course, thank you to the fans for listening and watching us. Speedy, thank you as always. And of course, Dad, thank you. This has been great. I know that you have the NFL draft special on Thursday for New York Sports Loudmouths.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
Everything like that. It's going to be, you know, chaos. And it'll be so much. Yes. So, Speedy, actually, I never asked you, is it Mendoza's fault or is it Stearns' fault or is it both?
Me, you're asking, or Speedy?
Speedy.
Oh, I think mostly on Stearns more because I think Mendoza doesn't control as much in analytic era, but I mean, they're both really bad. Stearns has been a mess since the deadline.
There you go. All right. We'll talk to you all next week. Enjoy all the sports this week. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. And we'll recap the NFL draft. We'll see if the Knicks are still alive. And maybe the Mets will win a game by next Tuesday, huh? What do you say?
Yes. 6.
Knicks
and 6.
Orange and blue skies.
Knicks and 6.
Good night, everybody. This has been Game On the Worldwide Sports Radio Network. We'll talk to you next week.
You're listening to the Worldwide Sports Radio Network.
Ranger Station, Ranger speaking.
Hi, I'd like to report a bear hug.
Yeah.